life broadcaster, the news anchor of their own life. From the moment they open their eyes to the first ray of sunlight, their life's camera is officially rolling. A steaming cup of coffee, a traffic jam on the way to work, a messy little corner of their bedroom, or even a sudden rain shower. Absolutely every fragmented piece of daily life is magically transformed into content. For them, pulling out their phone to record isn't reserved for special events. It has ingrained itself into their subconscious like breathing, a purely mechanical habit. During a hangout with friends, they might ask everyone to freeze for a few seconds, holding stiff smiles just to check in before the actual conversation is allowed to begin. To them, documenting and broadcasting is a fundamental component of the living experience. If it isn't shared, it's as if the experience never existed. But from the perspective of those around them, their life looks like a reality TV show with no off button where all boundaries of privacy are slowly eroded. If you have ever felt that your day was suddenly empty or incomplete, simply because you hadn't posted anything to your story, yet you are a dedicated broadcaster of your own life. 2. The validation seeker, thirsting for virtual applause. Every post tossed into the virtual world is not just a picture or a status. It's a fishing hook dropped into a river of expectations. Hidden deep inside them is an intense burning desire for attention. They memorize algorithms, calculate the golden hours to post, and meticulously obsess over every single heart reaction icon and tiny comment. The very second they hit share, their mind becomes imprisoned in a loop of anticipation. They close the app, open it again, and frantically swipe down to refresh their notifications, hunting for those short-term dopamine hits. If a post receives a flood of praise, they are as euphoric as if they've just won a championship. But if it falls into dead silence with low engagement, they immediately plunge into disappointment, self-doubt, and might even delete the post entirely. Sharing at this point is no longer about preserving a moment. It's a measuring tape for their self-worth through the lens of others. If you have ever posted a beautiful photo only to open your phone every 5 minutes to check if anyone has commented, you have tasted the bitter thirst of the validation seeker. 3. The highlight curator, the museum director of fake halos. They operate like an incredibly strict, ruthless art director for their own life. They absolutely never post anything randomly. The life displayed on their profile is always tightly wrapped in a filter of absolute perfection. It is impeccably neat, brilliant, overwhelmingly positive, and frankly, much better than reality. They are willing to take 100 photos just to cherry-pick the one with the slimmest jawline and the most flawless lighting, aggressively cropping out all the gray areas, the tears, and the miserable behind-the-scenes failures. While showcasing only golden moments isn't inherently wrong over time, it creates an invisible pressure and a highly distorted version of reality. It traps their followers in the toxic snare of comparison, creating the illusion that this person's life is a non-stop parade of roses and total fulfillment. If you have ever carefully erased every single flaw, exclusively displaying your most radiant achievements while fiercely hiding your moments of weakness, you are a highlight curator. 4. The oversharer, the boundaryless confessor. If the curator hides the dark corners, the oversharer strips everything bare in the middle of the social media town square. They share at a dizzying volume and speed, including hyper-personal sensitive details that normal people would guard with their lives. A toxic family argument, a 3 a.m. mental breakdown, a private medical diagnosis, or even the most intimate hidden corners of a romantic relationship. Absolutely anything can become raw material for a massive, sprawling post. In moments of explosive emotion, they treat social media like an inanimate diary, typing out their chaotic thoughts without a single second of hesitation about the consequences or the public's judgment. This makes their content incredibly raw and chillingly authentic. But it simultaneously forces their readers into a deeply uncomfortable, awkward position of receiving too much information. If you have ever, in a moment of impulsive rage or deep sorrow, posted an intensely dramatic status, only to wake up the next morning frantically deleting it in a panic of regret, you have experienced the life of an oversharer. 5. The real-time poster, the live streamer who lost reality. For this type of person, information delay is simply unacceptable. Everything happening in their life must be updated instantly, running perfectly parallel with real time. Which intersection they are standing at exactly, how they are biting into a pastry, who they are drinking coffee with every single event is immediately reported to the virtual world. At a luxurious dinner party, their gourmet food might go completely cold because they are too busy finding the perfect angle, snapping photos, color correcting and uploading to their story before anyone is even allowed to pick up a fork. This lifestyle creates a grand illusion that the world is tagging along with them live. But tragically, they are stripping themselves of the ability to be fully present in the actual moment. They view the world not with their own eyes, but exclusively through the lens of a camera. If you have ever felt a restless, anxious urge compelling you to whip out your phone and record a beautiful sunset immediately, rather than just absorbing it with your own senses, you are a real-time poster. 6. The trend rider, the chameleon of the digital wave. They are the most sensitive creatures to algorithms in the digital age. The very second a new trend blooms, a bizarre TikTok dance, an ice bucket challenge, a trending caption format, or a specific video editing style, they are the first ones diving in to experiment. The content on their profile lacks any consistent personal flavor. It constantly shape-shifts and morphs based entirely on what everyone else is watching. Driven by a severe case of FOMO, fear of missing out, they relentlessly adapt to avoid being flushed out of the digital current. Being a trend rider guarantees them massive engagement and keeps them hot. But the ultimate price they pay is the complete loss of their unique original identity. If you have ever gritted your teeth and filmed yourself doing a ridiculous lip sync or a weird challenge just because you saw it hitting the trending charts, you have joined the ranks of the trend riders. 7. The opinion broadcaster, the fiery digital soapbox. Their profile is absolutely not a quiet photo album preserving normal daily life. It is a fiery, relentless debate forum. They turn social media into their own personal soapbox. Whenever breaking news erupts from macro-level social issues and celebrity scandals to everyday philosophical debates, they feel an overpowering, burning urge to take the stage, writing razor-sharp essays to assert their perspective and ideology. This practice helps them attract a loyal community of like-minded individuals, but it simultaneously turns them into the epicenter of endless, exhausting keyboard holy wars. If you always feel an itch in your fingers, compelling you to type out a massive analytical paragraph just to counter a differing opinion online, you are a textbook opinion broadcaster. 8. The memory keeper, the silent librarian of the past. In a loud, chaotic world, full of bragging and endless judgment, this is the rare type of person who uses social media true to its original, purest nature, a hard drive for storing memories. They tend to repost fading, dusty photos from 5 years ago, moments of family gatherings, or trips that have long passed. To the memory keeper, the number of likes or comments is completely meaningless. The act of hitting the share button is simply a way to mark the territory of time, a method of packing the past into virtual boxes just in case human memory begins to fade. Their profile is as quiet and profound as a forgotten diary tucked away in a drawer. If you have ever reshared an old memory on Facebook with a simple caption like, "Just leaving this here," strictly so you could look back on it yourself, you are a genuine memory keeper. 9. The attention grabber, the master manipulator of clicks. They are born strategists in the attention economy. Everything they post isn't aimed at authenticity. It is aimed at one singular goal, forcing the scrolling user to stop immediately. They have a deep, intimate understanding of behavioral psychology, utilizing sensational clickbait titles, shocking images, and vague dramatic stories specifically designed to trigger extreme curiosity drama baiting. They know exactly how to stir up the emotions of others, whether that be deep empathy, burning curiosity, or even pure outrage. This playbook grants them massive engagement in the blink of an eye, but it turns their profile into a loud, chaotic circus where the content slowly becomes hollow, driven entirely by view counts. If you have ever racked your brain to write the most shocking, explosive caption possible just to guarantee your post will break the internet, you have used the tactics of an attention grabber. 10. The non-stop poster, the endless stream of digital pollution. This is the most extreme and heavy form of social media usage. They share with a terrifying intensity, creating chains of stories as long as endless suffocating dotted lines. From monumental life events down to the most mundane, meaningless fragments, a dog barking freshly painted nails, a cheap lunch. Absolutely everything is thrown onto the internet. They have completely obliterated the boundary between their personal space and the virtual world. For their followers, their overwhelming presence creates an exhausting bombardment of information, leading to digital fatigue and inevitably, the mute or unfollow button. The most frightening part is that the poster themselves slowly loses the ability to exist independently in the real world. They cannot fully process any emotional high or low, unless they have a virtual audience witnessing it. If you rarely experience a quiet moment in your life without feeling a manic urge to snap a picture and post it, you might be standing on the very edge of this non-stop posting abyss. So what about you? Out of these 10 types of social media users, which one exhausts you the most when scrolling through your feed? Or be honest, did you flinch a little seeing your own shadow hiding somewhere in there? Let us know what topic you want us to explain in the next video, and don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing.